Hello, my name's Christopher, and today I'm going to show you how to install Btop on Cosmos Cloud using Big Bear Cosmos, a third-party app store. So, a little bit about this series, I'm going over home labs, installing things, getting things set up, everything like that. So, if you're interested in that, subscribe, comment, like, and support the channel, and let's get started. I wanted to let y'all know about the Big Bear community. We just launched a community on community.bigbeartechworld.com. It's based on discourse, so go on there, join it, and say hi. So let's get back to your registered programming. So this is what I'll be installing today, Btop, and I had somebody on a community ask me to make this a Docker image, so I did. This is the features. It makes it where you can monitor your resources. So easy to use with game-inspired menu system, full mouse support, and that's all working on my Docker image as well. So filter processes, easy switch between sorting options, tree view of processes. So we're going to get to installing it. So this is what you should have at the end of the video. This is a preview of what you should have. So processes, the disk, memory, net, and then CPU. So now I'm going to start on Big Bear Cosmos. This is a third-party app store that's maintained by Big Bear Tech World and the Big Bear community. There will be a link down in the YouTube description to get to this. And I'm going to go over the search right here, and I'm going to type Btop. And now you see serve apps and then Btop. And this repo is synced with Big Bear Cosmos OS. So the config.json is the one that I made. It's the ID, version, image, the YouTube, docs links, and then the Big Bear Cosmos YouTube link. So I'm going to go to the description.json right here. This is the one for Cosmos. So name, the description, the long description, the tags, the repository, and then the image, and then the supported architectures that the Docker image supports, and that's over here in the Docker Compose. So that's over here, right here, and the icon. And then now I'm going to go to the Docker Compose. So the name is Big Bear Btop, and then the services, the service name, which is dynamic, and then the container name, which is dynamic. And this is so Docker doesn't have generate a random name. And then the image is coming off of Docker by default because there's no year before this. This is the Docker image. This is the Docker image tag. A restart unless stop. So that means if you stop it for any reason, it will not start a restart. But if it fails any other reason, then it'll start a restart. And then I'm going to give it privileged as true because it does need to access resources. And then volumes, so proc on the host and proc on the container. The host and container, and then the host right here is etc local time, and then etc local time on the container, and then it's set to read only. The ports are 7681 on the host, and then 7681 on the container. The host name is set to service name as well, and the minimum version. And then now the icon .png is just the logo. So I wanted to let you know about the Big Bear Club. You can join it, and it greatly supports this channel, and I very much appreciate it. So if you'd like to join the Big Bear Club, you can go down the YouTube description and go to my Ko-Fi link and join it from there. So let's get back to registered programming. So now I'm going to start on my Cosmos Cloud, and I'm going to go to Market over here, and then I'm going to see the search box. I'm going to click it, then I'm going to type in Btop. And then you'll see Btop at Big Bear Cosmos right here. And then it is coming from Big Bear Cosmos OS because that's what it's synced with. So I'm going to click it. And then I'm going to say the install button. I'm going to click it now. And you can customize it before installing, but I'm going to be going with the default. So I'm going to say next. And then you can see a JSON of it that we're going to create. And then I'm going to say create up here. So what this is doing is it's downloading the Docker image off the registry, getting extracted, getting it up with Docker Compose underneath because it's easy using the Docker engine. It's also setting up the binds. So we got it up and running. So now we're going to set up the URL, and the URL in Cosmos Cloud is the proxy to proxy into the container, so you have more control over the traffic. So I'm gonna go to serve apps right here, and then you'll see Btop. So I'm going to go down here to URLs and say this new button right here. I'm gonna click it, and then now I'm gonna just go with the default because it's already set up. So it's gonna be listed on 7200. You can turn on the basic security like authentication required, smart shield protection, restrict access to Constellation VPN. So I'm going to confirm and then refresh. And then now you can see it's right here. So if we go back to home, you can see it's available on the dashboard now. So if you notice when I was setting up the URL that it had a red dot, and that means that it's not available. So if we click this, you can see it's not going anywhere. So to fix this glitch that happens, you're gonna go over here to the trash can and you're gonna delete it and save changes, refresh. Okay, so now we're going to open it back up and then go to serve apps. And then now we're gonna create the URL again, confirm, refresh, and now you can see it is green now. So now I'm going to change the name on the URL. Instead of Btop, just change it to Btop. So I'm going to go to URLs and then Btop right here, and then setup name right here. I'm going to change it to Btop, and then I'm going to scroll down to save, refresh, and then now it says route not found because we did change the name. So I'm going to go back to home, and then now you can see it's changed to Btop. So now we got the URL set up and the name changed. I'm going to need to unexpose the port on the container now that we're going through the URL instead of directly on the container. So I'm going to go to serve apps, and then now you see right here, so warning, this port is publicly accessible. So I'm going to go to view details, network, and then I'm going to clear out the host port right here. Once you do that, you're going to say update ports. And then now you can go back and you can see it's not publicly accessible anymore. It's only accessible through the URL right here. So now I'm going to go over the app settings. I'm going to go ahead and go to server apps. And then now on this screen, you have update, pause, stop, restart, recreate, and kill the container. The ports, networks, the URL, and then you can click this to go to the UI. You can say auto update the container, and then CPU, RAM. So you can go into view details and you can see more info. You can see the same options up here. They're running an icon, image, ID, the IP address of the Docker, and then health, the auto update again, and then URLs, the monitoring, CPU, RAM, NRX, NTX. So you can go to logs right here. This is great for debugging. And you can see that it's listing on 7681. You can go to monitoring right here, and you can see resources and a network down here. You can go to events, and you can see what's happening. And then the terminal, the compose, and you can edit it, and then press edit. Docker. Image, restart policy, the user interactive mode, the environment variables and labels, devices, and then you can say update container. Network, so network mode, the host port, the container port, update ports, and then the networks. Storage, you can see the binds right here. And then you can add a new mount point, easy, volume, or bind. You can unmount this. And then the URL's got settings as well. So you can go over here to URL and then go in here. And description, the URL, the target is a serve app. And then security, the monitoring. You can go to setup right here. The name, like we changed. A description, the mode. You have different modes like serve apps, proxy, static folder, single page application, redirection. And then you can see the container name right here of where it's going, the container protocol, the result target preview, the use host, which is a preview, and then this is where you go to get to the UI. And then use path prefix, authentication required, smart shield protection, or restrict access to Constellation VPN, which that's a new feature. And then advanced settings, you can hide from dashboard, overwrite host headers, and then whitelist inbound IPs, and then press the save button. And then now you can have security. So over here, you click it, and then you can say authentication required, admin only, spoof host name, and then disable header hardening, smart shield protection, and then the limits, block common bots, block request without referee header, and then you can press the save button. And then you can go to monitoring over here. You can see the requests. So URLs give you a lot of features to limit the request and limit the resources, different things. And you can see the resources, events, and all URLs is just a proxy. So that's a little bit about these settings in Cosmos Cloud. So now I'm going to go to the UI. So you can go to it from the dashboard right here. You can also go into the URLs and you can click over here if you don't see it in the dashboard. And then you can go over here and click. So I'm going to go to the UI now. So now you see CPU, the menu, which is M, and then options, help, and quit. And then escape to get out of there. And you can see presets. You can see that the CPU over here and the memory, disk, the processes, net, and you can go down to the processes and you can click on each one of them. You can go into each one as well, and you can see more detailed information on that process. So that's a little bit about Btop's UI. So I just went over step by step on getting Btop running on Cosmos Cloud using BigBear Cosmos, a third-party app store. So if you like this tutorial, subscribe, comment, like, and support the channel. And if you have any video suggestions or you need community support, you can go to the Big Bear community and join our forum. There's a link in the YouTube description. So stay tuned for more.